I'm Rana Zincir Celal. I come from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm with the Columbia Global Center in Istanbul. And I have been with the ECF as an advisor to this program for the last Idea Camp and for this Idea Camp. And it's really wonderful to be back.
I'm Chrissie Faniadis. I'm based in Stockholm. For this Idea Camp, I'm actually representing Subtopia, but I'm a previous advisor to the ECF and was also involved with Rana in the last Idea Camp, where I was Master of Ceremonies. This time I'm more of a sort of a facilitator, I think, connecting people. I mean, it's connected action, so. I think Idea Camp sets a new example for how you can work. I mean, if you look at it from a European cultural perspective, and you look at it from a foundation's perspective, this is a much more hands-on sort of breeding ground for ideas, rather than coming in, like Catherine mentioned yesterday, coming in when the idea is already fully shaped and you just come in for the project. Here you're actually nurturing ideas from the start. You're giving people a chance to think freely and get feedback from people, and you're also connecting them. I think for me personally, this is the future of financing culture.
For me, what's exciting about the Idea Camp is, especially being an advisor and getting to read the 100 or so applications that come our way, is that you really get a sense of the new ideas that are brewing all around Europe and outside of Europe. And they're very original, very creative approaches and new ways of working. And so with this theme of the commons and connecting that to the city and to culture and to communities, you see that there are young people, and not just young people, but people all around, who are really being very, very inventive in how they're approaching this concept. Another development is that people are really understanding that this is a moment where we do need to come up with alternative approaches, that there are enormous challenges facing our cities, our countries, our regions, the entire planet, and unless we think creatively and develop new approaches, then we can't leave the solution seeking to anybody else. We have to take it into our own hands. And so you find that spirit in all of the ideas that are coming out, and everything from somebody experimenting with drone technology to thinking about ways of connecting elderly people to the community again and building these intergenerational connections. So I find that to be really meaningful, and it reminds us of what it means to be a human being, that you can really contribute and be active.
I think this is the way to work. You have to know what happens on the ground. If you want to find the new ideas, the ideas that stem from observers and from operators who are acting on the ground, you need facilitation, you need help. If you have a global outreach as a foundation, you need to have your agents or your collaborators on the ground. And who knows better their community than community-based organizations who are, they have branches all over the place. They are constantly growing their networks. They keep a finger on the pulse of what is the next thing, as well as sort of nurturing what already is in existence. So from my perspective, I wish more organizations and more foundations would work in this way. I think we would reach a completely different result and possibly not see the same 400 that keep getting funding.
It is a process, and it's not necessarily so easy because everyone has a different starting point and a different way of working. And I think part of the world that we're living in increasingly means trying to figure out how you negotiate difference and how you put different perspectives together. How do you create something more together?
The potential for this Idea Camp is also, it's mounting. People are working together. People don't want to give up, they want to continue working during the breaks. It's difficult to drag them away from the trolleys, difficult to get them to eat, difficult to get them to leave. And I think that's the dynamic that we're looking for.